I believe we are now officially recording. So, okay, this is Don Wedding, and we are in the 422 machine learning course at Northwestern, and this is the spring quarter of 2022, and this is our introductory sync session. And we'll get started in a few minutes, but before we do, let's see if anybody out there is, well, I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Don Wedding here. I'm your instructor, and please feel free to call me Don. I am not a formal person, so call me whatever you feel comfortable with. And as Logan has heard me tell this joke 1,000 times, I'm married, so I've been called a lot worse than Don. And my a TA for this course, Logan, you could show yourself and introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, so I'm Logan Strasser. I'm the TA for the 422 section here for Dr. Wedding, and like you said before, he's comfortable with everyone calling him Don. He's a great professor here. You guys have made a great choice in choosing him, and hopefully, you get the opportunity to go through his materials and get to learn a lot from him, because I did myself when I took the class a few years back. To give a little background on myself, I do this pretty much here just for fun, to do the TA gig here to stay up to date with the school and things like that. And outside of that, I work in healthcare. I'm a data scientist for a major healthcare organization here called Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. They're part of University Hospitals in Cleveland, Ohio. And the degree here at Northwestern allowed me to go ahead and pursue that career after spending about 8 years in logistics and transportation, working for FedEx organization in different analytical roles and capacities. So that being said, I'll go ahead and toss it over here to Dr. Wedding.
Thanks a lot, Logan. So let's get started with a couple of quick questions. Anybody have any thoughts, concerns, anything you want to talk about? If not, I'm going to quickly show you the class and then we'll get off this call. So any questions, anybody worried about anything or keeping you awake at night? Andrew Whalen, you look like a guy with a question.
Hey, I don't actually have any questions. I think I looked through the syllabus, looked through the course in Canvas, and it seems pretty straightforward. I'm kind of excited to learn a couple of these models.
Excellent. So let's see. Well, Claire, what about you? You look like someone with I can't see your whole name, but I can see it's Claire Ming Gu. Is that correct?
Yeah, I added my name that I prefer to go by, Claire. So yeah, Ming. Yeah, either one's good for me.
Well, I'll call you Claire, but you look like a person with a question.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm wondering how often we have this sync up sessions. Do we have weekly or bi-weekly? What is your plan?
This is it. We're going to do this, and the rest things, I've got a ton of videos and lectures that I put together. You get to watch those. This is to answer your questions, and then everything else, you contact me directly. We'll hop on a Zoom call. I'll get whatever's ailing you. I can help fix it. And if not, Logan is a black belt in Python, so he can help us too. So one of us is going to be able to help you, right, Logan?
For sure. As I say, don't be afraid to reach out to me as your first line of communication. I try to check my email within about 24 hours, really no less than 12. If I'm able to get on it between this and the assignments that are due. You might just have to wait until I get back with somebody else before I get to yours, but feel free to reach out to me. We can set up a Zoom call. We can do a phone call or a Skype or anything else, whatever's simpler for you. And I like to help you, troubleshoot your code and things like that.
Yeah, and it's the same with me. You don't have to call Logan. You can call me. I mean, one of us is going to help you. Does that help you out, Claire?
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks for that, dedication.
Yeah, you're gonna like the way this class is situated, because we're gonna go through it in about 2 minutes. Because first, before we do that, I think John Spitzgerber is a guy with a question. John, talk to me.
Yeah, excuse me. You're probably going to get to this, but I might be jumping the gun a little bit. But it looks like going through the assignments and stuff, and submitting our work. It kind of looks like you want like 3 or 4 pages total, one of just like the source code, one of the visualizations, one of, some verbiage outlining what we're doing, the purpose of it, and where we're headed and stuff like that. Is that kind
Yeah,
of how
pretty
I'm
much
reading it?
Yeah, that's, I think, number one, my primary goal here is for this class here, my primary goal is, does your code work? And because this is where you learn how to write a neural network, or where you're going to learn how to do a random forest or whatever. So I kind of want you to, that's primary. So show me your code, show me that it works, but more importantly, or not more importantly, also, I'd like you to do don't crawl into the weeds, but give me some kind of write up on what you've learned from the assignment. And I don't mean by, I learned about neural networks. I mean like things like when you're looking at the data and you're building a predictive model. Let's say that we were trying to predict, the whole class, we're really working with a couple of different data sets over and over again. And let's say one of the data sets is like this home equity line of credit loan data set. When you look at the model might tell you something like, well, gosh, I think that the most important factor to decide who's going to default on a loan, according to the model, seems to be, whether or not, you're left-handed, or something like that. So in other words, don't just throw the data into a piece of paper, send it to me and walk away. Do a little bit of interpretation of the results, just because that's a great exercise, because that's what you're going to have to do in the capstone course and in the real world. Your boss doesn't want you to just throw data at him and say, figure it out. The boss wants you to say, here's the data, I built this model, and this is how you're going to make money. So I'd kind of like you to throw something together. Tell me what you found and tell me how to make money with it. Say, hey, boss, if we're trying to lend money, let's lend money to people who are left-handed because we're going to make more money. Something like that. Give me some sort of interpretation. Does that help, John?
It does. Thank you. Yep. Perfect.
Great. And then last question. Okay, I'm not going to draft anybody. Anybody got a last-minute question for me? Oh,
so just
Jing. Okay.
Yes, I'm Xiang Chen. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to
Dr.
meet you.
Wedding. So along those lines, right? For these assignments, so how deep do you want us to describe it? Like, do you want us to get into the why? Like in your example, why is left-handed? Deserve the loans or something like that?
Well, yeah, because if you build a predictive model and you have like a regression, you're going to look at the coefficients of the regression, and it's going to say, left-handed people, and it's going to have a number like 7,000. And then you're going to have this person who doesn't have a job, and it'll be like 3. Well, 7,000 is a bigger number than 3. So probably that's a big factor in. Now, it's not really like that. I'm just throwing things at you, but you can look at these coefficients, or there's things you can look at. How much in depth? Okay, I'm not here to play gotcha with students. Okay, I want you guys to get models. I want them working, and I want you to show me that you can interpret those results. That's what I want. This is not the class to crawl into the weeds on this stuff. How about if I stop talking and show you what the class is, and I think I'm going to assuage a lot of your concerns. How about that? Okay.
Great.
And Logan, if you can watch the chat window in case anybody has any questions, please feel free to interrupt me. But when I'm talking, sometimes it's difficult for you guys to interject. Just either interrupt me or put something in the text window, and then Logan will scream at me to stop talking. How about that?
Sounds good. Dawn, I did get a ping already that there was one student having issues joining the call, and she's going to try to join again after restarting her computer here. So we might, I don't know if it's just her, but we do have the potential at least one issue.
Okay, fair enough. But so if people start having technical difficulties, we'll figure something out. Okay, let me first of all Let's see, you cannot minimize Zoom when you are recording this meeting. Ooh, okay. So give me a second here. I have to somehow figure out how to share my screen. Let's see, give me 1 second here. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I'm trying to get the class shell up, but Zoom is getting in my way, but I think I've got a workaround here. Perfect, okay. Okay, and 1 second here. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen. And am I sharing my screen right now?
I can.
Don, I don't see your screen.
Oh, well, okay. How about now?
There
Can
we
you
go.
see my screen? Perfect.
We're
Okay.
good.
great.
And Kim has
Okay.
joined us here. Kim, welcome.
So, okay, so here's how the class is, okay? And I've broken the class into a couple of different sections, okay? Now, the easiest thing in the world in this class is to get an A, okay? I've got so many bonus opportunities that if you don't get an A in the class, you got no one. There's a lot of opportunities to get a bonus points in this class. That's not what you want. A is not what your goal is. Your goal is to learn absolutely everything in this class, okay? So every bonus opportunity that you can do, you should take advantage of it, because everything in this class is stuff that I have used in a professional setting. So this is real world stuff that you're going to need, okay? So let's also, I've broken it down into like units, okay? So for example, data preparation is a couple of weeks. You don't have to get it all done in 1 week. I give you a couple of weeks to do this. And then we move on to decision tree models. So this would be decision trees, random forest, gradient boosting. They're all tree models, okay? And so I've got the same exact data set that you fixed up here. We're going to build a decision tree with it. And then we're going to build a random forest. Then we're going to build a gradient boosting. And same exact data set, only we're going to try different models. And you're going to see when things work well and when they don't. Then we're going to move on to regression models. Excuse me for coughing. I'm just getting over a cold, so I apologize if I cough. And then, so we'll do the same thing. We'll take those exact same data sets that you did with your, that we scrubbed the data, then we built trees and random forests and gradient boosting. Then we're going to go and throw it into a regression. And then we're going to let these models fight it out, see who's the best. Then we'll move into things like neural networks. Try the same thing again. And then, just to get crazy, we got some neural network bonus problems. And this is where we have some data sets where we have pictures of cats and dogs. And then you're going to say, based upon, and this is it's going to sound really scary, but it's actually not a difficult problem. Let me see. Can you still see my screen here?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, great. I want to see something. Well, give me 1 minute. This is not, you don't have to do a menu like this, but if anybody does do a menu like this, I'll give you Mondo bonus points. This is, whoops, let me bring up Python just a moment.
Hey, and Don, while you're talking about Python there, I'll interrupt. We had a question here. What version of Python is preferred? I mean, really the most recent, one of the more recent versions, right? 3.7 at least.
Yeah, get your best with the latest and greatest. Now in this class, if you want to use Anaconda, you may. I don't recommend using Anaconda. I think I would use just plain Jane vanilla Python. The reason why is two things: is you've got this layer of you got Python and you got U, and if you stick Anaconda in the middle, there's more stuff that can go wrong, okay? And then If you use Python, if you use Anaconda, you're on your own, okay? Furthermore, when you go out in the real world, you're going to have to do battle with the IT department at these corporations. And many times they're going to say stuff like, well, we'll let you use Python, but you can't use Anaconda. So if you don't know how to use the vanilla Python stuff without using Anaconda to help you, you're going to be out of luck. So I recommend just using just plain Python. I'm going to run something real fast, and this is going to scare everybody, but it shouldn't. Okay. And in fact, I'm not even sure if it's going to run since I haven't run this in a long time. But okay, so this is a little menu program that I wrote. You won't be doing anything this complicated, but the thing I'm about to show you, you will do. Okay. Let me see if I can find it here. Where did I put that? Cats and dogs. It might be in here. Nope. Maybe it's in Jupyter Notebooks. Yes, I think this is it. But it's in cats and dogs. Where's cats and dogs here, Logan? Help me out. Up. Oh, well. I thought I had cats and dogs here. Just a minute.
Jupyter. I can go ahead and shoot it over to you. I can grab it off the.
Oh no, I'll find it. I'll find it.
Right, there we go. There we go. That was
yeah. Here it is. Cats and dogs. Okay,
yep.
Cats and dogs. Okay. Here we go. I've got this model here, and I think I put this here, and the model goes here. Okay, now here is what we can do. Now, what I have it, this menu program I wrote for another purpose, but I use it for here. So I could put in this and I could drag a picture of a cat, okay? So look at this. These are all pictures of cats and dogs. This is what we're going with this class. Towards the end of this class, you're gonna be able to do this. This is gonna amaze you right now, but by the end of the class, you're gonna go, this is no big deal. But look at all these pictures of cats. And over here, I got a bunch of pictures of dogs, right? And so using a convolutional neural network, I can take a picture of a dog and drag it onto the screen. And the neural network says there's a 94% chance that this is a dog. And then here's another dog. And there's another, this has got a 100% chance that that's a dog. And then that one got it wrong. It looks like that's a cat. So I miss some of them you miss, some of them you get. And then I can go like there and, you know, here's a picture of a cat and there's a 100% chance that's a cat. And here's another one. Oh, that one got mislabeled as a dog, but you know, it can predict whether or not you got a cat or a dog. So, anyways, I was expecting more of a response than I got from this. I was expecting you guys to be like, wow, that was amazing, Don. But now I've lost just a second here. Logan, is anybody texting you right now saying how amazed they are?
No, they're just disappointed that one didn't work there. It's supposed to be foolproof there, Don.
Well, I didn't say I'm not perfect here. And that's the first rule you got to learn from this class is you can't let perfect be the enemy of good, okay? You just have to be close. I'm trying to share my screen again. Oh, here it is.
Thank you, Claire. Appreciate the laugh there. I'm sure Don appreciates that too.
I always do. Can you see my screen again? I'm moving my mouse. Uh-oh.
No, your screen's not shared.
We're back. Okay, so that's the final project is cat and dog images, and you're gonna but that's the last thing we're gonna do. Okay, but let's go back up and I'll show you how the class is organized. Okay, now that I've succeeded in confusing and scaring everybody, it's not hard. Okay. let's look at real fast at the syllabus. And let's pull this guy up. Okay, again, here is my contact information, and Logan's is out there on the website as well. Here it is, my contact information. Send emails to both my Northwestern and my personal email, because if I'm with a customer or whatever, I can't get access to Northwestern. But if you send it to my other email also, I'll get it on my cell phone, and I'll be able to at least know that you've contacted me. Also, this is my home phone number, and this is my cell phone number. You may call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I would prefer that you not call me on Sunday at 3 in the morning, okay? I would prefer that. But if it's an emergency and you need to call me, you just do it, okay? And people go, well, what's an emergency? My answer is, if it's important to you, it's important to me. I will pick up that phone. If you call me at 3 in the morning, I'm probably going to sleep through the phone call, but you call me whenever you need to, okay? I would love it if you post questions to the discussion board, because then Logan and I can see them and we can answer them, and other people can get the answers too. But sometimes you need instantaneous response, so a phone call or an email will work. So that's how to contact us. There is no textbook in this class. There's some stuff you might want to get. Some students like optional textbooks, and here's some that other people have recommended. There is nothing in this class that's going to require that you buy a book, okay? Because my lectures should be enough, and then if not, you can go and search on the web or other sources. I think buying books at this juncture of is probably just a waste of money, because they become obsolete so very quickly, and also they're expensive. I don't want you guys to have to spend it. Software, we're going to use Python, and it's optional to use Jupyter notebooks if you want. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. That's up to you. Anaconda, I don't recommend it, but you can use it, but you're on your own, okay? I don't help with Anaconda because I'm not that good with it. Let's see, anything else? To get an A in this class, we have 1,000 points at least, but there's more. There's bonus points all over the place. You just have to stop and get them, okay? We've got bonus points. And how do you get an A in this class? If you get 930 points, you've got an A. It's not percentages, it's just raw points. So as soon as you've accumulated 930 points, you're done. I don't recommend that you stop. I mean, some students in this class just, some students, like the last day, they're still handing stuff in, trying to get to that 930 mark because they're at like 680 and they've got like 300 points to go. Okay, that's hard. Don't wait to the last minute. But then I get sometimes students are like done so many bonus points that they've got like 1,500 points by week 5. They're just going nuts. That's great. Keep learning as much as you possibly can in this class. And then I also recommend, if you think of a great bonus opportunity of your own, do it, send it to me, and I'll probably give you some points for it. For example, I was using this menu program here, and this menu program that I had for the cats and the dogs, and I was dragging my models on there. If you can figure out how to use something like that, go ahead. I mean, you are free to try anything in this class, and it's got to be Python related, but that's but feel free to take the class beyond where I'm taking it. I think I see some chats. Does anybody have any questions? Logan, how are we doing?
Yeah, Don, just to clarify, the proctored final. Let's say we have an instance where a student does a significant amount of extra assignments and they have managed to get enough points to get the A without taking the proctored final. Is that still a requirement for the class to take it, even if you have enough points.
Nope, not a requirement. It's if you've got enough points, you don't have to do it. But the way I've got my final, it's more than anything else. It's something that I try to make my finals something that's kind of fun and challenging. And it's a way of you testing yourself on how much you've learned. It's not something that you should be sweating. To me, this class, everything is writing the code, writing the programs. So the reason why we have a proctored final is because it's required by the accreditation board. So I tried to make my final to be something kind of challenging for you to say, well, what's the difference between, and it's multiple choice. So if you don't know, you can guess, but it'll be like, what's the difference between a random forest and a gradient boosting or something? And you're like, hey, that you're thinking, well, gosh, I don't know that. Maybe I should go find that. Even if you miss it, to go back and learn that again. So, also, you can, in this class, if obviously, common sense applies to this, but if another student helps you, let me know, because this is not a trap, okay? It's if you are totally lost and some other student goes, look, it's not that hard, let me show you how to use pandas, and they help you, send me an email and say, hey, Don, this is Fred. Mary really helped me understand how to, generate a decision tree. I'll give Mary some bonus points. Okay, so if you help one another, this is not a dog eat dog class. It is a class where, I want you to just like in a corporate setting, people are going to help one another. That's where I'm at here. Obviously, Mary shouldn't give Joe her code, but if she sits there and helps him debug something, then let me know and I'll give you some points, or no, I'll give Mary the points, not Joe, but you get the gist. So anyways, let's go through the class shell real fast. And let's see. So that is our syllabus. You can go through that. About your instructor, here's Logan's contact information. Logan, is this all up to date?
Yes, I just actually updated that today and put in some additional information there. So yes, you can reach out to me on cell phone, text, email there as well. That works fine. And we can go ahead and set up a time to have a Zoom call or a Skype.
And unlike me, Logan does like to be called at 3 in the morning.
As long as it's okay if I'm out at the bar or something, you guys don't mind a little bit of noise. I'll pop open the laptop if I have it on me.
Okay, I'm just kidding there. Okay,
oh no,
so
we're dedicated here, Don.
Yeah, we care. Okay, so let's see. Course, oh, here it is. Oh. Okay, if you're falling asleep, wake up, because this is going to be important. I added that this quarter. Now, I've got some lectures that I have recorded already, okay? Unfortunately, Python changes a little bit over time, okay? And so all of a sudden code that was working last quarter will magically stop working. And it'll be like one small fix. Now, I could go back and re-record 3 hours worth of lectures, but I'm not going to do that, okay? So if you find a bug in some of my code, like for example, one of the things for scoring, for getting a prediction is they changed the syntax from, prob or from predict prob to just predict. Well, all of my sample code had predict prob instead of just predict. So, it suddenly stopped working and people are like, well, you have to make this change. If you find a little bug or a little glitch here and there and you post the correction here, I'll write bingo underneath it and you get some bonus points for that. So anybody who finds a bug, or if you cut a really cool piece of code, like you've come up with something else that's outside the scope of this class. If you post it here and other people start to use it, I'll give you some bonus points. So this is a way of earning extra bonus points beyond other things. And the trick with this class is get as much out of it as you can, because believe me, everything in this class you're going to use in a corporate setting. I mean, I'm showing you, this is a crash course on real world use of Python in, for what you'll be doing. So let's see. So the first unit, this is like 2 weeks long, and what you're going to do is click on this thing here, and you'll see that I have some download of data and code. Oh, no, this is the dictionary, but I've got some sample code to get you started, and I've got lectures. So you click on this, and this will be a lecture that I've come up with. So this is how to do exploratory data analysis in Python. So if you click on this, then, now my first, so that's, did I accidentally close something here? Can you guys still see my screen? Uh-oh.
Yeah, we
I
see
guess-
your desktop.
Oh, okay. I have to get back into, I accidentally closed this. Sorry about that, guys. This technology stuff, I'm 57, so, this technology stuff is just, difficult for me. You young kids, you got your Walkman and your striped toothpaste and your VCRs and all this newfangled stuff, but I'm making a joke here, folks. You're supposed to laugh at my jokes. That's another way to earn bonus points in this class. Okay, so anyways, so I've got these things. There are lectures. I walk you through step by step on how to do it. I do it with one data set, and then I have you do it with another one. So I'm not sure which one is which. I think I do it on a home equity line of credit data set is my lectures. And then I give you a data set with cars, do you crash your car and what's it going to cost you? So, this is how do you get the data, get rid of the outliers? How do you handle the categorical variables? What do you do for, missing values, et cetera? So I walk you through that stuff. And this is the first couple of lectures, I didn't know how to use Screencast-O-Matic, so it's a little bit screwed up, but by the third lecture, I've got it fixed. So you're gonna find out that the first 2 or 3 of these, you're like, how come half of the screen is cut off? And it's because I didn't realize I did that until last quarter. So anyways, that's section 1, and I've got here we have, upload your assignments on data preparation, upload it here. I've got some quizzes. Again, the quizzes are mostly just testing your knowledge that they're on what you've learned for the class. So these things are not going to be like gotcha kind of questions. They're going to be more conceptual questions. Do you understand what, why we're doing data preparation? And then I have to ask, one of the requirements is I have to have discussion boards. So I'm trying to make the discussion boards kind of fun. And so I've looked for some, and they're due I've only got 4 discussion boards, but that's, this one is the next big thing. What do you think the next big thing in analytics is going to be? Give me your thoughts. There's no right, no wrong answer, but it's sort of there to make you think. Then we move on to decision trees. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff on lectures on decision trees, some external resources. Again, your assignment, your quizzes, and your, discussion board. Then we go to regression. Now down here, I have these quick assignments are all bonus assignments. You don't have to do them, but I recommend you do, because this is stuff that you'll use for the rest of your life. This will be things like interesting, some data transformation. How do you normalize and standardize data? How do you do principal component analysis? How do you do k-means clustering? I've got a couple of bonus assignments here. Again, they're easy to do. The points are just there for the taking. Go grab them. And the cool thing is, if you do this principal component analysis, you can use it when you're doing the regression or the neural networks, and I'll give you some bonus points for that, because you're using, not only are you're not only did you do this, but if you use this in building models, it's a learning opportunity. Then we have the neural network stuff. And then again, we have a couple of different deep learning neural networks. This is the bonus neural networks. This is where we do the convolutional neural networks. I have 2 assignments here. One is a pretty straightforward, and it's just, we've got images of, I think, like dresses and shoes and stuff, and you got to say what it is. And then here's the cat dog problem. And so anyways, and then we got the final exam. Again, it's, if you got enough points, and some students do, some students, don't have to take the final, but, hey, take it anyway. It might be kind of fun, but that's up to you, of course. So anyways, that's really the class in a nutshell. Logan, do you have any thoughts, anything you want to address? And then we'll ask some questions, and then we'll let people go if they're done.
Yeah, I'm just reading through the catch up here. We had a question for somebody that's already hopped on the first assignment. The first thing we got to ask is, should they remove the outliers from the get-go from the assignment, from the first assignment?
Let's see. Yeah, I think we do that in the first assignment. I think I'm trying to think if we do that. I think we do outlier detection in the first assignment. Do we or don't we?
I believe it's the first or the second. I got to double check here. It might be the.
Oh, it's if it's not, you can do it. I know we do it somewhere. I'm just not. I just don't remember where we do it in the class. But if I'm not here to play gotcha. Just do. I walk you through step by step by step in all of these assignments. Just try to at least do what I'm doing here. Like, for example, the exploratory data analysis, I show you how to do graphs and pie charts and blah, blah, blah. Then I show you how to fill in missing values. Then I show you how to do one-hot encoding, things like that. At least do that. If you want to do outlier detection earlier, just do it. I mean, there's nothing stopping you, but again, I'm not here to play gotcha, because in reality, you're not going to even need to do outlier detection, because the first models we do are trees, and trees are completely immune to outliers. So it's only when you get to regression where outliers become a factor. And I think that's where I start doing that. And I think there's a lecture for that.
Yeah.
Do you know where it is, Logan?
I'm thinking it's 3 now that I'm thinking about it. It's unit 3. But if you do it earlier, I mean, I think, there's a potential if you call it out that you've done something out of the ordinary. Don might throw you a few extra points.
Yeah, outlier detection right there.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Unit
and
3.
variable selection. How do you select the variables for the model? I mean, this is stuff that you will do in the real world. Variable selection. I'm not big on theory because nobody cares about theory in the real world. Your boss is going to give you a data set with 5,000 variables and only like 10 of them are going to be useful. How do you find those 10? So here's some great techniques. Yeah, you can do stepwise selection, but that will take you all year. So there's other techniques, still stepwise is great, but if you got 5,000 variables, you gotta start by chopping down a lot of, getting rid of a lot of those things before you ever get to a forward or backwards or anything like that. So any other questions?
Yeah, I think that covers that there, Don. In terms of, we had a question about group projects. If I remember correctly, this class, we don't do a ton of that, but you can work with each other and stuff like that.
Yeah. And and if you can't get a hold of me, you can get a hold of Logan. So if you say, Don, I can't get this done in time, I'm, can I get more time? Usually I say yes, because, but the point is, don't fall behind, because this class looks pretty easy, but I'm telling you, if week 5 is rolling around and you still haven't gotten your exploratory data analysis done, you are in a world of hurt. But if you need more time and you know, let me know. But if you can't get a hold of me, talk to Logan. Whatever he says goes, okay? So Logan, do you have any thoughts? You've been the TA for a couple of times on this class. Any thoughts, anything you want to throw in?
Yeah, as I say, it goes pretty smooth. Anytime you get stuck, usually, you know, the other folks within the class will also give tips and pointers, and then I can as well, or Don as well. So don't get stuck up and, you know, not getting, you know, stuck in the minutia of each individual assignment where something just might be off just a little bit, and you're worried if you're going to get a 25%, you know, deduction on points. That's not going to happen. Really, like Don said, just, you know, give it your best effort and have something solid to deliver to us, and that'll usually be enough to get you, you know, the significant amount of points that you need for the assignment. In terms of the assignments as well, and how you prep for them, the test code that's in there, things like that, you know, read it and understand it line by line. Don't just copy and paste it. Try to read each line by line, try to understand exactly what each line is doing, because that'll help you then internalize it when you go to do your assignment as well. And Don has also done some wonderful videos. They're extremely helpful. I strongly suggest that everybody goes ahead and watches those, because not every professor within the program does that. And I know that's something that's been very helpful for me, and every other student says, you know, I wish I would have spent more time watching all the videos, because, you know, it literally walks you through how to do each assignment, you know, in a roundabout way. So with that being said, I will go ahead, and we do have 2 more questions here.
Okay.
Is there an example of past assignment submissions? Do we have the Hall of Fame in this one, Don?
No, I don't have the
We don't have
Hall of
this one.
Fame for
Okay.
this one. But look at my sample code. That's going to
Yep.
get you a good starting off point. That's why I don't have the Hall of Fame.
Yep. And then we have a question here about the submissions for the code. Do we submit a .python file or a .txt file, or something similar that just contains the code itself? I think we want multiple things there for the majority of these, right? I mean, we want the HTML, and then at least the .python file, or the .ipynb.
Yeah, and if it would make my life a lot easier if you were to your output, if you were to put it into a PDF or an HTML. Don't make me go into Jupyter notebooks to look at your output. I will if I have to, but it saves me a lot of time if you don't do that. And you know, also going back to what Logan said is, don't let the thing you have to learn in this class and then in the real world is you cannot let perfect be the enemy of good. Get it really close and move along. Just you got to keep this stuff moving. You cannot fall into you know, analysis paralysis. You can't just keep, you know, hitting your model and trying to get every last ounce of accuracy and make sure everything is perfect. You got to keep moving, because the corporate world, that is the way they are. They want results, and they want lots of them, and they want them fast. So don't let perfect be the enemy of good here.
Thank you, Don. I don't think we have any other questions. I will go ahead and kind of chime in and add a point here. For one of the other classes we do, we started off this, Dr. Wedding here has a great thing he does every quarter for his students called a show and tell. And I don't think we've touched on that yet tonight. So
I
I'll go ahead
forgot to talk about that. Yes.
Yeah, so in about 3 to 4 weeks, as you choose week 3 or week 4, I'll go ahead and host a sync session for the entire group here in this section, as well as Dr. Wedding's 498. And we'll give the option to get bonus points to go ahead and have you get up and give a 5-minute TED talk to the group here, to the students that show up. And it seems like every quarter that goes by, we get more and more students in each session. So it's very successful in terms of just brainstorming, you know, what's happening in industry, and, you know, getting to share something yourself and getting that chance to do a little bit of public speaking through Zoom as well to develop that confidence. But what we'll do is have a show and tell TED talk in about 3 to 4 weeks. We'll put a date that's out there. I ask, and Dr. Wedding asks, that you go ahead and research a topic of your choice. And if you find it interesting with data science or analytics related, anything along that lines, you can go ahead and present it to us, and try to teach the group and the class something new. We've had anything from somebody doing algorithmic trading to showing a Bloomberg terminal as well, to talking about, Jupyter notebooks back in the day to really any other cloud technology too. So there's a lot of different examples of things that students have brought up over the past couple of quarters and really years.
And along those same lines, I used to do show and tell. Logan's just being very modest. He's the one who runs this thing. I did show and tell years ago and it was super popular, but I was so busy I couldn't do it. Logan has picked it up and taken it. But in the past, that the reason why you want to do this show and tell is because, or at least attend it, is because you can really get an idea on something that might be huge. For example, when I used to do this the first time back in 2015, like somebody was showing Jupyter notebooks back when it was like in its infancy, and 2 or 3 students did a talk on Jupyter notebooks, and I was like, what the heck is this Jupyter notebooks thing? I thought, because you start getting exposed to something, and there's always something new out there, and you don't know what's going to stick and what's not. Everybody was talking about Ruby and I'm trying to think of some of these other in Julia and all these other languages that are supposed to take over Python. Well, they kind of went the way of the Brontosaurus. So it's a great way of getting exposed to new stuff, but at the same time, you can also get an idea of what might stick, like Jupyter notebooks. Also, it doesn't have to be analytics in nature. I've had students do things like how to start a business. I had, they had a consulting business, and somebody else did a thing like little known tricks using Excel. So it's open. It's like TED Talks. You can do anything you want. So, anyways, I think we're done at this point. If anybody wants, I sent out the link. If anybody wants to sit in on the 498 sync session to see what that class is like, you're welcome to join. But before we let you go, any last minute questions, anything?
Sorry, I have a really quick question because I
Okay.
missed the first part of this sync session. So would this supposed to be the time we can bring questions about assignments to discuss, or?
Right this minute? I mean, like one.
Yeah, like this sync session, is that?
You could ask a question, but if it's really involved, it's probably best to get off because we only got a few minutes. But what's the question? Is it?
Oh, yeah, I don't have a question today. I was just wondering, like, is this like the regular time we can ask questions about assignments, or?
This is it. This is your one and only sync session. And if you have a question, then you contact me or Logan, or you can also contact a fellow student if they want to help you. And that's, the videos, the material, and then contact us directly. But there's going to be no more sync sessions. This is it.
With the exception of the bonus assignment one, but we typically try to stay away from anything class related with that directly, just because I'll be frankly honest, I'm probably going to try to figure out a way of orchestrating this beforehand. I would strongly suggest that you let me know beforehand if you're going to present, because I had the last one go multiple hours and it just really didn't go well because I gave people the opportunity until that moment of when it started to show up and give a presentation. But this time around, we're probably going to have to go ahead and do a sign-up sheet because we can't be doing 30 presentations that go from 8 o'clock Central until midnight, Eastern. So with that being said, thank you. And then I think Kim Law, you look like somebody with a question. Do you have a question you wanted to ask?
I have a question, but I was just wondering, for the capstone class for 98 and any of the sessions in the future, are we only welcome to go to one of the sessions, or is that invitation open like throughout the whole quarter?
Well, the invitation's always open, but we're only going to have one sync session there as well.
Oh, okay.
But if there's anything you want to do in the class, you let me know. I'll get you the material, and heck, I'll even, I'll send you the syllabus. I'll send you anything. I mean, you can, I would recommend going to it though, whatever you want, I'll send you the stuff. I don't care if you want to get an early start on your capstone. I'm happy to help you, or not help you. I'll give you the stuff. You do it on your own.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Well,
Kim.
guys, any other questions? If not, we're going to end the sync session. Okay. Well,